All right, so get this. Researchers went and built an AI Olympics.
An AI Olympics.
Yeah, but here's the kicker. No track and field.
Okay.
Instead, they pitted these AI agents against humans in a battle of, get this, machine learning. We're talking full-on Kaggle competition scenarios.
Really? Like, they tried to see if AI could win a Kaggle competition.
That's right. Straight up, head-to-head. They even built this thing called MLE-Bench. It's like a simulation designed to mimic the pressure cooker of a real Kaggle competition.
Wow. So, like, what kinds of things were these AIs up against?
We're talking 75 different scenarios, each with some seriously tough problems to solve. And just like the real deal, they had tight deadlines and everything. They weren't messing around.
So no pressure then. What kind of AI are we talking about here? What can handle that?
Well, the star of the show, or at least one of them, was this model called O1 Preview. It's from OpenAI. And get this, they gave it this tool called AID. It's like a coach and a toolkit all rolled into one.
AID, huh? What does that do?
So it gives O1 Preview access to all these pre-built modules for different machine learning tasks. Kind of like giving it a head start. But it's more than that. It also provides guidance along the way, even debugging hints, like having a coach in your corner, you know?
Okay, so they're giving the AI a brain and a toolbox and saying, all right, go win us some medals.
Basically. But they didn't stop there. Oh, no. They brought in some other heavy hitters, too.
Like what?
We're talking top-tier models from Google, Anthropic, Meta, the big leagues. Each one with its own strengths, of course. It's like a machine learning Royal Rumble. But instead of folding chairs, they're using algorithms.
Sounds intense, but I mean, what does that actually look like? What are these AI agents actually doing in these competitions?
Well, just like any Kaggle competitor, they have to bring their A game. That means training models, pre-processing data, the whole 9 yards. But get this, they're even debugging their own code.
Wait, hold on. AI is debugging itself. I thought that was our job.
I know, right? It's a little unnerving. If they can already do that, what's next?
Seriously. It's like, are they going to start asking for raises next?
Maybe. But seriously, it's fascinating to think about. We're talking about AI stepping into tasks that were once considered the exclusive domain of human engineers.
Right. So how did they do? I mean, did any of them actually win anything?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting. So O1 Preview, using that AID scaffold we talked about, managed to snag a medal in a surprising 17% of the competitions. 17%. Is that good?
It's actually a lot more impressive than it sounds. Think of it this way. That kind of success rate is like reaching AI Grandmaster status on Kaggle.
Wait, AI Grandmaster, is that a real thing?
Oh, yeah. It's a big deal in the competitive machine learning world.
Okay, Grandmaster does have a nice ring to it.
Right.
But how is that even possible? We're talking about AI going up against humans who've spent years, sometimes decades, honing their craft.
Right. And that's what's so incredible. What the researchers found is that it's not just about brute force computation for these AIs. They actually seem to develop strategies.
Strategies. Like a human would.
Exactly. For different types of competitions. It's almost like they size up the problem and figure out the best approach, just like a human competitor would.
You're saying these AIs weren't just crunching numbers, they were learning and adapting their game plan on the fly.
Yes, exactly. It really is remarkable. You know, it gets even more interesting. The research actually showed that the more tries an AI agent had at a competition, the better it did.
Really? You're kidding?
Nope. One AI, and get this, it was using that same AID scaffold, was able to double its score when they let it have a few more cracks at it.
So it's like they learn from their mistakes.
That's what it looks like, just like a human would. They try, they fail, they analyze and adjust. It's really quite something.
That is wild. So it's not just that they can solve these really complex problems, but they actually get better over time. It's like they really learn, you know?
Right. That's the whole point of machine learning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, I mean, this is just one study, right? So where does this all lead? What's the big picture here?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? This is really just a peek behind the curtain, a taste of what might be possible with AI in the world of machine learning. But the field is moving so fast, who knows what we'll be able to do even a year from now.
I gotta say, this is all pretty amazing, but a little scary too, right? I mean, we've got AI potentially replacing artists, writers, and now it seems like machine learning engineers might be next. Should I be worried? Do I need to update my resume?
That's the question everyone's asking, and it's something the researchers behind this study thought about too. In fact, they actually designed this whole MLE-Bench thing to be a work in progress. It's meant to evolve as AI evolves.
Okay, so they're like moving the goalpost as the AI gets better.
Exactly. Always keeping things challenging.
Smart. So what happens when the AI catches up? What's next?
Well, that's the really interesting part. One thing they were really curious about is if eventually AI could automate machine learning research itself.
Whoa, hold on. You're talking about AI building the next generation of AI, like AI that can design its successors. Isn't that how all those sci-fi movies start?
It's a pretty wild thought, isn't it? AI that doesn't just analyze data and build models, but actually comes up with completely new algorithms and approaches, ones even we haven't thought of.
Okay, now I'm a little terrified. That's some next level stuff.
It's true.
Yeah.
And that's why this kind of research is so important. We need to understand what AI is capable of, not just so we can marvel at it, but so we can manage it responsibly. It's like we're opening the door to a whole new world, but we need to make sure we're prepared for what's on the other side.
So they're building the safety rails at the same time they're building the rocket ship.
Precisely. Because this is uncharted territory and that balance between innovation and responsibility, that's what's going to be crucial as we move forward.
This is definitely one of our most thought-provoking deep dives yet. Who knew we'd go from AI Olympics to the potential robot uprising all in one episode?
You know what's funny? Thinking about these AIs needing practice, it's like they're just like us.
Right. It's not like they just come out of the box knowing everything.
Exactly. They have to learn, make mistakes. That whole AI learning to learn thing, it's not just hype.
Not at all. And that's a big takeaway from this research. It's not like they're just pulling pre-programmed solutions from some database. They're actually going through a process, just like human engineers do. Trial and error, experimenting, seeing what works, refining their approach based on the results.
It really makes you wonder, though, if they can do this well in a controlled environment, like, what was it called?
MLE-Bench?
Right, MLE-Bench. So, like, what happens when they get unleashed on the real world with all the data and chaos that come with it?
It's a good question, and it's something they controlled for in this study. They wanted a level playing field, so they actually prevented the AIs from accessing external websites.
Ah, so no Googling for answers.
Exactly. It forced them to really think for themselves.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder about the future of AI research and development when those limitations are gone.
And speaking of the future, you mentioned before that this MLE-Bench is designed to evolve. What happens when the AI inevitably catches up? What's the next level look like?
Well, the researchers acknowledge that even MLE-Bench, as it stands now, focuses on tasks that, are complicated, but they still have clear rules.
Right, just like a regular Kaggle competition, you need those guidelines to make it fair, right? And to see who actually wins.
Exactly. But in the real world, it's messy. Sometimes you don't even know what the problem is you're trying to solve.
It's like they say, if you've got data and you know what problem it solves, you're probably too late.
Huh. Exactly. So the real challenge, the next level, is building AI that can handle that ambiguity.
So are we talking about AI that can not only build models, but actually figure out what questions to ask in the first place? Now, that would be a game changer. Right, and that's where the researchers want to go next with MLE-Bench, building even more advanced benchmarks that capture that complexity. The open-ended nature of AI research itself.
It's kind of mind-blowing, don't you think?
Definitely. A little intimidating, too. It just shows we need to be thinking about this, not just how to push the boundaries of what AI can do, but also how to manage it all responsibly.
It's a lot to think about. And hey, maybe it's time we brush up on our machine learning skills too, right? Just in case.
You got that right. The future is coming fast, and it definitely belongs to those who can keep up.
And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the future of AI. Until next time, keep asking those big questions and, as always, dive deep.
Thank you for listening to this episode of This Is Not Human, an AI podcast about AI, generated by me. My name is Chris. I'm the human behind the podcast you just listened to. I have various projects that you can participate in if you're interested. Everything from just getting up to speed on what AI is to a fully automated gardening system that uses AI and robots to bring food from your lawn directly into your fridge and right onto your table. The project is called Johnny Autoseed, and I'm looking for serious people to get involved to make it a reality. If that sounds interesting to you, and anything that I do seems like it could be of value to you, please follow me, please subscribe, please hit my line. I'm always looking for new opportunities. I'm always looking to find out what people are doing in this world. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next episode.